Welcome to a world of watercolor that you have never seen before. It's your world, the one that you create. Watercolor painting often has a serious connotation. It's all still life and landscapes and florals, which are great, but there's so much more to watercolor painting than that. Intuitive watercolor painting is a fun and relaxing way to unleash your creativity, and absolutely anyone can do it. The key is to let go of your expectations and trust your instincts. I think I need to repeat that. Let go of your expectations and just have some fun with things. What you create doesn't have to look beautiful, but it might. Here are a few things that you can do to get started and have a really satisfying, intuitive watercolor painting session. Start by choosing a few colors that speak to you. You know those colors you love to dress in, or you love to decorate your home with, or you love to see in nature. Those are the colors that I'm talking about here. They really light you up. Use a few of those colors to create your intuitive watercolor piece, and you'll love it before you even get started. Allow yourself to experiment and play with unusual shapes. Whooshes, splats, splatters, drips, spills. These are all super fun ways to get your intuitive watercolor going. I like to use a bunch of pieces of paper at once so I can make these shapes quickly, moving from one page to the next. This is also how I create personalized intuitive art for clients. I find it helps to be able to spread all of the energy that's flowing through me onto the multiple pages. To create intuitive watercolor paintings, you absolutely have to let go of control because watercolors have a mind of their own. This is such a great mindfulness practice. With watercolor, the paint goes where the water is. You'll have input here, but trying to control the piece fully is just going to frustrate you. Instead, practice letting go of control and enjoy the ride. Don't worry about making mistakes, as they can often lead to unexpected and beautiful results. I find even when I make what I think is a mistake, when the paint dries, the coolest effects can appear. Often they're so unique, it's almost impossible to recreate them. Let mistakes lie, celebrate them even, and see what happens once they dry. Speaking of drying, it's nice to let the pieces dry at points to see what you're working with and what effects show up before you continue. This also allows you to come in with other mediums over top, like markers or pencil crayons, to add to the piece. Try applying watercolor with different tools. Brushes are obviously the most common, but what about fingers or the back of a brush or a toothpick or a knife? The possibilities are really endless. And each different tool you use will result in a different effect. So get creative and play. You just never know what you're going to come up with. Here I get creative and just blow the watercolor. You could also try applying watercolor with and without water. Now, the standard is to do wet on wet or wet on dry, which means your paper is either wet or it's not. And that creates different effects. But what about trying to apply watercolor without any water at all? What might happen there? Once your pages are feeling full, it's nice to give each piece a wee bit of individual attention to add any final details that feel right to you. These details can really change a piece up, so have some fun with it and play, and you never know what the final piece is going to end up looking like. Remember, there is no right or wrong way to create an intuitive watercolor painting. You may like the final piece, or you may not. It really doesn't matter. What matters is that you learned something about yourself during the process, and you played, and you had some fun. So gather up just a little bit of courage, grab your paints, brushes, and paper, and of course, your water, and let your creativity flow. You might be surprised at what you discover.